All right, you guys, how are you doing tonight? This is Michelle Thompson, and we are doing our part 4 of reprogramming your brain. So it seems as though for some reason it's not looking like it's working. So let me refresh here and see what's going on. Okay, let's see if it's working now. Yeah, it looks like it's working. Okay, here we go. Okay, so today I'm going to go ahead and start, even though some people may be getting in late. So I'm going to go ahead and just dive right in. Okay. I usually start at 7 o'clock. Starting quite a bit early tonight. I have some things I need to do, so I'm trying to wrap this up. Anyways, so today we're going to be talking about alchemizing your brain. Now, the interesting thing about this particular class is that we always seem to think that our emotions control us, or that we are our emotions, or we are what we think. And, you know, a lot of times I get people who say to me, how do you control that? I can't control those emotions. I can't control that. Well, here's a little tidbit of information. The thing is that you are exactly what you do. So the funny thing is that what we end up doing most of our life, hi Maria, what we end up doing most of our life is we tend to let everybody else control our emotions. It's what you're doing that's controlling how I feel. You're making me feel this way. You're doing this and I'm feeling this way. And the reality is you're letting everybody and your environment control your emotions. Now, how does that make you feel? That everything around you, your whole environment, everybody in your life is controlling how you feel. So what I say to you today is what you're going to learn is you're going to learn how to control how you feel by the actions that you do. So this is my absolute favorite section of the book. And I really like this part because it's really powerful and it's very empowering, because you end up finding out that you have a whole lot more control over what's going on and how you feel. And you can actually control these emotions that you have. So let's go ahead and get this ball rolling here. For some reason, my glasses are kind of crooked. It's kind of weird. Okay, hold on a second. Let me share a screen so that you guys, hi Iowa, how are you doing? Okay, so here we go. All right. So if you're doing this from your phone, it's going to be a little hard to see this. So let me kind of try to expand this a little bit and see if that helps. Okay, so things happen, life happens. In this chapter, you're going to learn how to shift from a sad feeling to happy feelings, from anxious feelings to calm feelings, from anger feelings to acceptance, from frustration to accomplishment. Now, that's really cool, don't you think? That you can actually shift how you're thinking. See, our actions create the chemical release that's either positive or negative. And learning to be conscious about our actions makes us creators and masters of our own life. Now, who in here wants to be a master of your emotions, a master of your own life, instead of letting everybody else and all your environment control exactly how you feel? See, the most common problem that I see with clients is they seek out me is their problems that they have is anxiety. See, anxiety has been misdiagnosed without really a lot of consideration about the origin or the reason for its existence. What I'm about to explain to you is not 100% accurate for every single person who experiences anxiety. However, it's the case for most. Okay. So instead of reading this, I'm going to just kind of tell you. Okay. So I'm going to stop the share for a second and just kind of tell you a little bit. Hold on here. Okay. So when you were a baby, or actually anybody who's been around babies, you know that the problem with children when they're first born is the biggest issue they have is overstimulation. That's why a lot of people say when they're first born to put them in a black and white room or primary colors so that they don't get overstimulated. The brain doesn't have to kind of like figure out, oh, you know, it's too much. Too much activity, too much noise, too much overstimulation gives a child anxiety. And the answer that we've always had through the history of all mankind has been what? What do we do to a baby when they're experiencing anxiety? Hi, Shannon. What we do is we put a pacifier in their mouth. We put a bottle in their mouth. We have a tendency of giving them toothing rings, or as they get older, what do? We give them Cheerios or something. We're always doing this. So what's happening? And as a baby, if they're overstimulated, what happens when, okay, they're not hungry or whatever, what do? You rock them. So you're like, rock, 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 rock. So they're either doing this or doing this. What is this? This right here, exactly, pacify. But what is it? It's repetition. So just for a second, I want each one of you guys to sit in your chair and just go back and forth like this. What does that feel like? It's actually quite soothing, isn't it? It feels good. I feel calm. Interesting, right? I wonder why that is. Well, that's because what happens is exactly comfort. Okay, so what happens is that we get overstimulated, and the world that we live in today is the most complicated world that has ever existed in the whole time in history of man. And you know why? Why do we experience so much anxiety? So much overstimulation? Because we, in this lifetime, in my lifetime, I'm 52 years old. When I was a kid, we had zero technology, okay? We had a wall, a phone on the wall with a little spirally cord. There was no call waiting. There was no answer machines. There was no nothing. If somebody was on the phone, you got a busy signal. And if you got a busy signal, what do? You call the operator and say, hey, can you do an emergency breakthrough? Or you go run over to the house and you bang on the door. Okay. The thing is that we didn't have any technology. We had a TV. I had a console TV with had two little knobs. Okay. One was VHS and the other one was UH something. I don't even remember. It's been so long ago. And one was like 39, 26 and 20. And the other one was like 2, 13 and 11. Okay. And channel 8 was on one of those. And that's it. That's all the channels that we had. And there was no remote controls. I remember as a kid, I would get a pillow and I'd lay really close to the TV. So I reach over and change the channel. And that was the extent of the technology. Okay. We had turntables for music. Okay. So what has happened in our lifetime? Okay. What has happened in my lifetime is we went from no technology to walking around with a handheld computer. Okay. A handheld computer. Think about that. Think about what that's doing to your brain. Okay. So let's look at this for a second. Okay. I want you to just look. Notifications, notifications, notifications. And these aren't all this is like YouTube telling me there's a new episode, missed calls, toy blast, all kinds of stuff. I mean, it's text messages, emails, Pinterest, Instagram, Facebook. How many ways does somebody have to get a hold of you? Can you actually get a hold of somebody that lives in another country without having to pay outrageous fees? I mean, I remember when they came up with some sort of free long distance phone calls, and that was when Skype came out, and everybody was like, oh my God, it was how is the telephone company going to stay in business? And, I mean, there was just all these crazy things. Okay. So what is that doing to our brains? It's overstimulation. Okay. Our brains were not, we were not born into this. Okay. We were not born into technology. At least my generation wasn't. Okay. And the majority of us wasn't. Okay. My daughter, she was born pretty much into technology, sort of. She's 29. Okay. And even at that, they say that it takes at least 3 generations, for a minimum of 3 generations, for evolution to catch up with what's going on. Okay. Well, we haven't had 3 generations. I mean, maybe, it's like the kids that are being born now are the ones that are going to be okay, right? They're going to be, it's just a few generations for all this to happen. And so what happens is that our brains are doing things that it's never done before, overstimulated, and our brains don't know how to deal with this. Okay. So it's like, what do you do at work? You're like, answer a call, check an email, do this, and everybody has ADD. Okay. Everybody's diagnosed with anxiety. Everybody's diagnosed with depression, and everybody's diagnosed with ADD. And now pretty much everybody's diagnosed bipolar. Okay. So what is all that about? Well, it's all about the fact that everything has to do with the fact that we have developed technology too quickly. Not that I'm complaining, because I love it. It's just that it creates something in our brains that we don't know how to handle. We don't know what to do with. I mean, back in the day, we'd sit on the patio and read a book and drink iced tea. Okay. We go for walks. I remember when I was a kid, the way that I entertained myself. Okay. I would go ride my horse, and I would play with my dog outside. I remember when I was like in elementary, we would take little things and put them together and try to create instruments out of them. I remember taking Coke bottles and gluing them together, like Coke bottle lids, the metal ones that used to pop off of a Coke bottle, a glass Coke bottle. And I glued them together, and I went like this, so it'd make a click noise. And we were like creating a band, and it was like, we came up with all these crazy ideas, and we were so creative and stuff, but we lived in a very live in the now kind of way. And now we're not living in the now. We're thinking about what we just did yesterday, what we're got to do tomorrow, and what we're doing now. And 5 different things that we're doing now, and what we have to take, what we got to prepare for next week. And oh God, I fucked up last week, and So all these things, our brains are plus we've got all this right here going bing, 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 bing. If that's not overstimulation, I don't know what is. So the problem is our brains are overstimulated. So now that we understand what the cause is, let's go back to me sharing a screen. Okay. All right. Okay. So now that I was explaining to you that this is the reason why we have so much anxiety, and I've explained that all to you. Okay. So I really wanted to kind of go over that about the whole technology thing. So what we're going to do today is we're going to learn how to identify the emotion, and we're going to learn how to get control back over these emotions, every single emotion that we have, including anxiety, including depression. Okay. And we're going to get control over these things, and we're not going to let other people dictate how we feel. So no more of that shit. We don't have to deal with that anymore. From this point on, you guys, you can be in control of your mind. And guess how you're going to do it? You're going to do it by the actions that you take. Okay. The feelings that you feel come from the actions that you do. Okay. Think about what you're doing, and that will show you what you're feeling. Okay. So let's start with all the different emotions. Okay. So first off, we're going to start with listing off the different negative emotions. We have depression, we have anger, we have anxiety, we have fear, and we have frustration. Now, let's define this a little bit more. Depression is when you go inward. Anger is when you don't accept something. It's like, I do not accept that. Anxiety is when you're unsettled, you're anxious. Overstimulation, you guys. And what happens is we have a tendency of doing like negative repetition, okay? Because we want to go into an automatic behavior, okay? So what do? We bite our nails, and I'll get into all that in a minute. So fear is non-action. And frustration is when we're unable to accomplish something. So you guys all have a copy of this, so you can scroll through all this and look at this yourself. So I'm going to kind of skip over it. Okay. So let's look at some of the actions that are associated with these negative emotions. So with depression, you have isolation, crying, moping, sleeping. Okay. When you're depressed, these are the things you do. If you don't know how you're feeling, think about what you're doing. How do I feel? What am I doing? Okay. Isolation, crying, moping, sleeping. These are signs of depression. Okay. Anger, scream, yell, throw, break, hit, hurtful words, destructive behavior. Anxiety is when you bite your nails, you eat, you snack, you smoke, you pull your hair, you fidget, you tap. Okay. Remember, anxiety is a repetition. You always want to go into repetition, but most of us go into a negative repetition. We have negative behavior when we're experiencing these negative emotions. Fear is when we do nothing, we're frozen, we're not moving. And frustration is when we slam, force, break, or give up. Okay. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to look at positive emotions. So we have happy, acceptance, peace, love, and accomplishment. So when you're happy, you're kind of acting, you're more outward. So when you're depressed, you're inward. So when you're happy, you're outward. When you are the opposite of anger, believe it or not, is acceptance, because anger is not accepting. So what's the opposite of that? Acceptance. So, and then the opposite of anxiety is peace. So anxiety is to, like that, overstimulation. So the opposite of that is peace. And when you're peaceful, you're calm. And then fear is when you don't do anything. So love is action. I talk about that a lot. Love is action. Love is not a feeling. It is an action. Accomplishment is to accomplish something. Okay. So let's look at all the actions that are associated with the positive emotions. Happiness, it's smiling, laughing, singing, dancing, whistling, humming, socializing. So when you're happy, you're doing all these things. You're like, I'm happy, and you're smiling, and you're singing, and you're dancing. You're whistling, or you're smiling, or whatever. You're just like, jumping around, all whatever. And when you're in a state of acceptance, okay, you're being present, you're allowing, you're acknowledging, okay? When you're peaceful, the actions for that is meditation, yoga, tai chi, gardening, woodworking, art, painting, creating. It's a peaceful repetition, okay? Like rocking in a rocking chair. You feel calm. Remember when I told you a minute ago, just sit here and rock for a second. See how it makes you feel. Feels good, right? There's more actions than the ones I'm telling you. This is just examples. Okay. Love, act of service, giving a gift, hugs, touch, spending time with somebody, words of encouragement. Accomplishment is when you start a project and you finish it, when you go work out, when you're cleaning a closet, organizing, doing something fulfilling. All right. All right, so let's go ahead and line these up. Okay, so the opposite, we're going to look at the opposite. So I'm going to expand this a little bit because you might be looking at this through your phone. So I'll make it a little bigger. Okay. All right. We're going to look at negative emotions and positive emotions. Okay, and we're going to look at the exact opposites. So the opposite of depressed is to be happy and joyful. The opposite of anger is acceptance. The opposite of anxiety is peace and calm, and the opposite of fear is love. The opposite of frustration is accomplishment. Okay. Okay, so here's what your goal is. This is so simple, is that When you're, so let's look at the, hold on. Let me back it up. Sorry. Getting all excited. So negative actions, we're going to side by side them. Okay. So a negative action of depressed is isolation and crying. Positive action of the opposite is happy, smile, laugh, sing, dance, whistle, hum. And anger, that action is scream, throw, break, hit, hurtful words, destructive behavior. The opposite of that is acceptance, which is being present, acknowledge, allow. Anxiety is when you're biting your nails, eating, snacking, smoking, pulling your hair, fidgeting, tapping. The opposite of that is peace. Meditation, yoga, tai chi, gardening, woodworking, art, painting, creating. Fear. That's when you're frozen and you're not moving. Love. It's when you are moving and you're doing something. So it's an act of service, giving a gift, hugs, touch, spending time with somebody, words of encouragement. Frustration is when you slam things, force things, break, or give up. Accomplishment is when you start a project, you finish it, you go work out, clean a closet, organize, do something that is fulfilling and finish it. Okay. All right. So the goal here in this chapter is that we want to look at the negative emotion that you are experiencing, and you want to find the opposite emotion and do that action. So if you look back, okay, the opposite of depression is happy. So what's that? So when you're depressed, you want to smile, laugh, sing, dance, whistle, hum, socialize. I can guarantee you that if you're feeling really bummed out and you put on some really good jamming music, you're going to start to feel good. That's always my go-to. You know, it's like when I'm feeling like, I'll go and I'll turn on the radio really loud with some good music. And before I know it, I'm like this in the car. And then I'm singing out loud, really, really loud. When you get angry, you need to stop right there and become present and just acknowledge what the other person's saying. Step away for a second if you have to, and just allow that situation to happen. Because remember, anger is when you don't accept it. To get outside of anger, you have to accept the situation instead of trying to change it. Anxiety, when you're feeling anxious, go meditate. Go read a book. Go do some yoga or some tai chi, or do some gardening or some woodworking. Paint a picture, do adult coloring. Create something, do some beading. You know, there's tons of things that you can do that you would enjoy that's creative. My husband likes adult coloring, so I'm always buying him coloring books and markers and all that kind of stuff. So he likes that. He says it really keeps him calm, and that's the reason. Okay, so fear. When you're experiencing fear, okay, I'm not talking about fear like afraid of a spider or something. I'm talking about fear of getting too close to somebody, fear of commitment, fear that somebody's doing something to you, or that you might lose your job or something like that. Go do something for somebody else and you'll step outside of that fear real quick. Go do an act of service. Go buy your next door neighbor a nice little gift, or cook some cookies for somebody and give it to them, or go up to somebody and hug them, or say something really kind to somebody. Go spend time with somebody who really needs it. Or give some words of encouragement to somebody. Call up somebody and make them feel good about themselves, make them feel like they're awesome. Shannon's good about that. That's one thing I've noticed about Shannon, is she's so good about always saying compliments and saying nice things to people. She's always encouraging them. She's real good with that. And so when you're feeling fearful, go do these things. And you'll step right out of it. Frustration, when you're frustrated. So there's two different types of frustration, okay? There's frustration because I can't get my printer to work, and there's frustration because I can't get you to understand what I'm trying to tell you, okay? Either way, forcing it is not going to fix it, okay? So you want to get into the state of accomplishment so you can believe in yourself. So when you get into the state of accomplishment, you can do anything, okay? That's why I always say that the first hour of your day is the most important hour, because if you wake up and you accomplish something, whatever that may be, then you're like in the mindset of starting your whole day with a state of accomplishment. So you walk into your day going, I can do it. I can do it. So get up in the morning and do something, like go take a long walk and finish it. Like tell yourself, okay, I'm going to walk a mile, or go run, or, you know, whatever. Like if you're writing a book, write a chapter in your book. Or if you are trying to do something, you know, whatever it may be, something that you feel like you need to do that first thing in the morning. Okay. And you will find that that starts your whole day, and you will feel so good. Like on a Saturday when you're off and you don't have to work, and you get up and you go clean your closet, man, you have so much energy and you're ready to do more. You don't want to just sit around and watch Netflix. So here's the thing. The things that you do make you feel the way you feel. If you're laying around all day, you're going to feel lazy. It's the actions you do that are creating the emotions that you have. If you're isolating yourself, you're going to get depressed. If you're not depressed already, you're going to get depressed. Okay? So it's the actions that you do create the emotions that you have. Now, I wasn't watching the chat room. Is Shannon leaving? She's got to go bye-bye. Okay. Bye, Shannon. See you later. Okay. So the actions that you do create the emotions that you have. So I want you to think about this, and I want you to identify what you're feeling. What am I feeling? Okay. And if you're feeling sadness, well, I'm not telling you not to do the inner work. Okay. Okay, but what I am telling you is you want to overcome it right now, then you need to go do something exciting, something fun. And if you do that, you'll notice that suddenly you feel better. Suddenly there's something different. Like I said, just go turn the radio on and turn on some really good, like Pharrell Williams, a happy song. And you'll find that you feel great just from doing that. And let's see. Let's look and see what everybody else is saying. Okay, so Michael, you isolate. You're a vampire. That's the problem. And so we don't want to be. We don't. You know, you work at night, so it is a little hard. But because you're sleeping during the day, so that is a little bit challenging. So, but you know, the thing is that if you want to feel better, you need to be getting out and socializing. And I don't mean socializing on the computer. And I'm not saying that you should stop doing that altogether. That's not what I'm saying either. What I'm saying is that you actually need to have real life contact with people. You need to get out. Don't be locking yourself up in a room with a computer screen. That's just going to make you more depressed. Okay? The actions that you do create the emotions that you have. If you find yourself, if you are isolating, you're probably depressed. And if you're not depressed already, you're going to be depressed. Okay? Exactly, Maria. Go out with some guys. The problem is Maria, he works nights. And so by the time he's getting off of work, people are going to work. And by the time that he's, most people are going to bed. Wait a minute, hold on. By the time people are going to bed, he's going to work. And by the time he's getting off of work, people are going to work. So it is a little challenging for him. It's a little bit hard. Yes. And Michael, you need to make contact with a pretty lady. That is exactly right. You'll meet somebody. You will. So anyways, get up and dance. Turn on some music and just run that little experiment for me. Okay, I want you guys just to run a little experiment. Okay, so now that everybody's kind of in the room, and I did this when I first start logged on, is get in your chair just for a second and just sit back and go like this and just rock. It feels soothing, right? It feels calming. Why? Because we're doing positive repetition, positive repetition. So think about it when you're coloring. Color, 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 calm and focus. And when you're painting something, focused and calm, right? It's repetition, it's calming. So what we want to do when we're experiencing anxiety is do something calming. Okay, here's the thing, and this is the big mistake people make, okay? When you're experiencing anxiety, if you go and try to do something, the happy action, not gonna work. You won't feel happy, okay? What you need to do is when you're experiencing anxiety, you need to do the opposite action, which is peaceful and calm. And once you get peaceful and calm, then you can go and listen to the music and you can go up and down the chart. Okay, so let's look at that chart again so you understand what I'm talking about. Okay. Oh no, where did it go? Did I close it out? Yeah. Okay. So see this right here? Okay, what we want to do is kind of see my mouse right here. So when you're depressed, you need to be doing a happy action, okay? And so if you're depressed and you go meditate, that is not going to make you feel better. And when you're depressed, you need to go put on some music, socialize, smile, laugh, dance, sing, do something, okay? Like that. So, and it's the same thing for anxiety. If you're experiencing anxiety and you go try to start a project, it's not going to work. You're not even going to be able to do the project. What you need to do is go meditate first. And then once you get on this side of the board and you get into the positive actions and you're feeling a positive emotion and you're calm, then you can go up and down the chart. Okay. So once you get calm, you can go straight to happy. You can go straight to fulfillment. You can go straight to accomplishment. You can go straight to love. But you can't go from anger to peace. You can't go from depression to peace. You have to go from depression to happy, anger to acceptance, anxiety to peace, fear to love, and frustration to accomplishment. So identify what you're feeling, and then once you get that emotion under control, then you can go up and down the chart. Okay. Hope you guys understand what I'm saying. Okay, hold on a second. What's not cool at all? Hold on. Guys, get on my nerves. Did something happen? Let's see. I tell my husband all the time, go out with the guys, get out face to face. Very good, Robin. I love that. Guys need guy time like we need female friends. Absolutely agree. Absolutely agree. Guys get on my nerves. Well, Michael, that's because you need to get out. It's because you're working vampire hours and you're too much into feminine energy because you're around the moon all the time. You need to be in the sun. And when you start getting in the sun, you'll get more masculine energy, and then that won't bug you so much. But I get it because I have more masculine energy than I do female energy, and I get along better with guys most of the time than I do girls. So you say guys get on your nerves, and it's really kind of funny because most women are so much more emotional, and it's taken years for me to because women get so emotional over things, and guys are just like, this is how I feel, and okay, fine. And, it's to the point kind of thing. And you just kind of know where you stand. And I like that, I'm kind of to the point with some things myself. So I get I get that but I really think that a lot of that is the fact that you've got the moon energy too much. So get in the sun and that'll help a whole lot. So let's see what else is being said. Okay, awesome. All right, so let's go back to this. Okay, so basically, I hope you guys understand that. Remember what I was saying is that if you're experiencing it, you need to identify what you feel. And if you don't know what you're feeling, like ask yourself, what do I feel right now? What am I feeling? Well, think about the actions that you're wanting to do. Like you want to bite your nails off or go smoke a cigarette or pull your hair or twiddle, or you find yourself tapping, or you want to eat, and just repetitious actions that seem to be more self-destructive than, are you picking at your skin? I mean, you know, what is it that you're doing that is not working for you? You know, it's more of a negative action. And if that's the case, then it's probably anxiety. If you're isolating and you're not socializing and stuff, it's probably depression. Okay. So if you're not doing anything at all, you're not moving, you're not doing anything, and it's probably fear. Okay. So it's possible that, Michael, you could be experiencing fear. It's possible that it could be depression. So what I suggest you do is try the dancing and the singing and the humming. Get out in the sun, definitely. Okay. But remember, once you get into that positive emotion, you can go up and down the chart, but you can't crisscross. Okay. All right. So let's move on. All right, so in your book that you have, your copy, I created a chart like this where you can print this out, and I suggest you put it on your refrigerator. And what you do is you write in what it is that you would do. So I gave you some suggestions like singing, dancing, socializing, blah, blah, blah. But think about what does a happy person do? Okay, and then think about when you look at my list that I made and you think about other people that are happy and what they're doing, then think about what you're willing to do. Okay. So, and then write that down. And then same thing is write down acceptance, acknowledge, you know, that kind of stuff. Be present. Write down in under anxiety. Think of calm actions. You may not want to do Tai Chi or yoga. Maybe you can't. Maybe you have a disability that makes it hard for you to do that. So what I suggest you do is you write down things that you can do, like adult coloring or something that makes you feel calm. And you write that down here. So you write down what fits your lifestyle. You know, gardening, if you live in an apartment, is not going to fit your lifestyle. So and then under fear, you look at those 5 love languages that I wrote and you write down what fits your lifestyle. Frustration, write down some small minor goals that you can accomplish within 30 minutes to an hour and put that in there. And then go put this on your refrigerator. And the next time you have a negative emotion, go look at it, ask yourself what you're feeling, and then go do the action. Pretty simple little cure, right? All right. Okay. Let's see what everybody's saying. All right. You're funny. Okay. Okay. So, Michael, not all guys are like that. Okay. I know that a lot of guys are like that. Those are just idiots. But, you know, not all guys are like that. I mean, I like guys. I mean, I think that, like, I love my husband, and I have a brother that I adore, and all of his friends, you know, that I grew up with are all like really great guys. And these are people that are easy to talk to. And, you know, I mean, maybe try meeting different people that aren't, you know, stupid and obnoxious. Maybe somebody's a little bit more mature. All right. Because, you know, as you get older, you don't act that way as much. Okay. So now we're going to start talking about alchemizing others. So this is always fun to do. So at times, other people can affect our emotions, correct? That's what I was talking about when I first logged on. So why can't you affect theirs in a positive way? It's proven that you can create a tone And that tone, others follow. This happens a lot when you're in a bad mood, when you're telling a friend about someone in your life and how they're treating you. Oh, poor me, blah, blah, blah. And what happens when somebody's telling you this? You feel drained and you feel tired and you're just like, because that person affected you, right? They just alchemized you, dude. They just made you feel shitty. So you may notice that suddenly people you're with start to compare their bad experiences as well. So in other words, what I'm saying is that, okay, so my friend calls me up and she says, oh, God, I went out. I'm dating this guy and he just cheated on me and I'm so upset. And then you wouldn't believe what he did. He called me up and then and he said this. Oh my God, da da da. And then what do? You start comparing your experience. You're like, oh my God, I just had that happen to me the other day. I just had this guy do this and do that. And we start like basically comparing battle scars, right? Because that person brought you there. They just acclimated you there. They brought you to that place. And that energy, it starts feeling heavy. It feels bad. Sometimes it's draining you. So here's what I say to you guys. Take charge. Let's say, for example, that you work is a very negative environment and you start going into work and instead of like saying, God, it's so draining here, you just change the environment. You decide, you know what, I'm taking charge. You walk in, you start saying hi to everybody. You compliment them. You start to smile. If you can't find something good to say to somebody, you just say, hey, I like your hair. I like your shoes. Or you look really good. I love your smile. You're always so sweet. You're such a great worker. You're always on time. Compliment everybody. Constantly just walk in and start saying something nice to everybody, right? It's proven that you can make a person's day just being nice to them. You have the power to change the whole room. Now, I did this experiment, okay, on my mom's husband. And he's quite the character. He's very melatonin in his voice. And he talks, you can't ever tell if he's upset or if he's joking with you because it's always the same. He talks like this. It's like, hey, Michelle, you left that over here last time, blah, blah, blah. And he's probably joking with me, but he sounds like he's mad at me. And for a while, I thought he was mad at me all the time because of the way he talked to me. So I decided, I'm going to try something different on him and see what happens. Okay. So every time I saw him and he started talking like that, he's got a bald head and I walk over to him and I'd start rubbing his head. And he's like, what are you doing? And I said, I'm trying to see if a genie's going to come out. And he'd start laughing. And then next thing I know, he's got a towel and he's popping me. And, and then the next thing I know, he's over here showing me all these things that he does woodworking. He's like, look what I did. Look what I did. Look what I did. And it's really funny because I changed his tone. I actually changed his tone. He started like joking with me in a laughing sort of way instead of a very serious sort of way. It's proven that you can make a person's day just by being nice to them. There was this research team, okay, and they took a bunch of teenagers, and they asked them if they would run an experiment with them. And they found this one girl who didn't have any friends. She was very shy. She dressed really plain. She sat alone at lunch. And they asked all the popular boys to do one simple task. And that was to go over there and talk to her and make her feel comfortable. Invite her to parties. Invite her to do things with them. They talked about a lot of things, teachers, classes. They invited her to a party. And each day they would say hi to her. They asked her to sit with her at lunch. They introduced them to her friends. And soon the girl started to change. The girl started to change. She started to dress more stylishly. She became more friendly. She started to have a more dynamic personality. Years later, the research team checked out this girl. They were interviewing her. They went back and they found her and they asked her about that. And she said that this was a very pivotal point in her life, that those boys actually changed her life and they gave her confidence. And that confidence made her very successful. And she moved on to be a very, very successful corporate CEO for a company. You see, sometimes just a bit of kindness to a person will change a person's life. Who do you know that you could be a positive influence on? This isn't about changing a person's style or getting them to do things that you think are wrong and trying to make them right. This is about converting someone. This isn't about converting someone from one religion to another. This is about showing kindness to a person and letting them discover the happiness that's within themselves. Okay? So I'll tell you another story. Many years ago, there was a tire company that was close to my house. I'd always found that going there was a really pleasant experience. Okay, now in the book, I didn't tell you what the name of the tire company was. So I'm going to just go ahead and tell you instead of reading this. Okay, Discount Tire. So I used to go to Discount Tire all the time. And I'd walk into Discount Tire and they were always super nice. I mean, I walk in there and they would like, you know, even if you had to wait for a few seconds, they were like, I'll be with you in just a second, ma'am, I promise, blah, blah, blah. And you never had to wait for very long. They're very attentive. They're always like, if you tell them you can't afford it, they'll like, here, let me look it up in the computer. Look, I'll take a discount off of that. I'll make it work for you. How's this? And they always seemed to give me exactly what I wanted. And they always gave me the greatest service. And they were always super fast and they're super nice. Okay. And I always felt like I was the most important customer every time I went there. And even though I knew that they did this to everyone, I always felt really good when I walked in. And so one day I moved and there wasn't a Discount Tire close by. And so I decided to go to this other tire company. And honestly, I can't tell you what it was, but it was another one that was a major company. And I walked in there. Nobody was at the front desk. It was dead quiet in there. There was no customers. I waited. I rang the bell. I had to stand there for a bit. Somebody said, be out there soon. And somebody, didn't come back out there for, I waited for 10 minutes and finally came out. Didn't act like they were very happy to see me. The prices were too high. They weren't very friendly. They were rude. They took forever to do the tire. I was so mad when I walked out of there. I promised myself I would never, ever, ever go back. And it seemed to me like those people were not happy. And those unhappiness, those feelings that they had projected onto me, and they made me feel icky. That taught me that people have a huge impact on how other people feel. So I had one of my clients do this experiment at work, okay? And she told me that she had a very negative environment and she was hesitant because everyone at work kept to themselves and they didn't talk much. There's this one girl who constantly was in a bad mood and the others didn't seem to ever talk. They seemed aloof and unfriendly, and she said the environment was low energy and not a good place to work in. So I said, well, change that. Let's alchemize it, girl. Let's do it. So I said to her, darkness cannot sit in light. What happens when you turn the light on? The darkness disappears. So what's going to happen to the darkness is either going to transform or it's going to disappear. It's going to run like hell. Okay? So I told her, I said, stop being the candle. Because what happens with a candle? You're carrying around a candle and somebody comes over, blows out your candle. Stop being a candle. Be the light. So she went to work and she started with this new attitude. She smiled all the time. She said hi to everyone. People started to respond to her. She would see things on the copier and she would bring it to whoever person it belonged to. At the coffee area in the break, she would always engage in conversation to whoever was there. She complimented everybody that passed by, and soon she started to notice that people were mimicking her behavior. They would walk by and say hi to her. They would compliment her blouse or her new haircut. And one person even told her that she was a breath of fresh air and that she brightened up the whole office. And this made her feel good, so good that she attempted to approach someone, a girl that had always been rude to her. At the first time the girl responded, she asked her, "Why are you being nice to me?" Have you ever met somebody like that? Like you try to be nice to them, like, "Why are you being nice to me?" She even said, she said to this girl, "Why are you being nice to me? No one's ever that happy." She smiled at my client, and my client says, "Well, I am." Finally, one day, the girl saw her in the copy room, and she asked her why she was being nice to her. And my client said to her, "Because you seem to be like you need a little light in your day." And the girl started to cry and said, "I'm sorry, I'm being rude to you. I'm just going through a lot of personal issues right now." She reached out, she gave her a hug, and the tension between them dissolved. She realized something very important. You can affect how other people act. I remember, I'll tell you another one. I don't think this one's in my book. There was this girl, she was a young girl that worked in a bank. Okay. And she was always like, "Yeah, it's just so boring. It's so boring. It's the people are always like in a hurry, they're rude, this, that, and the other." And she said, "Yeah, and this is one guy comes in and he's always so rude. And he's all like, 'Here's my check, positive, blah, blah, blah.'" So I had her doing her 3 gratefuls, but I also had her doing this new thing that I'm going to have you guys doing, and you're going to just love me for it. And so I had her doing this thing where she had, when anybody asked her how she was doing, she had to say something really great, like "fantastic." But she said "peachy," I think it was, or something like a "peachy." And she would kind of like do her head like that. So anyway, so this old geezer comes in, and she says, "Well, hello, Mr. Bird. How are you doing?" And he goes, "I'm fine." He goes, "How are you?" And she goes, "Peachy." And he looks over and he goes, "Yes, you are." And then he smiled and he goes, "You have a nice day." And then he said it again and turned back around and looked at her and he said, "Yeah, have a nice day. Thank you. You just made my day." And he walked off smiling. She said that every time he came in from that point on, he was always really talkative to her and really nice. You know, she said that all the clients were nice to her. She was a teller at a bank, and she said everybody was nice to her just because of that one thing she did. Amazing, huh? Crazy how you can actually alchemize people just by being nice to them. Crazy, right? So if a person comes to you with force, you pause, you breathe, you stay calm, and then eventually they will match your mood. Because guess what? The person that is the most convinced about something, the person that believes in what they believe in the most, the person that feels the strongest about something is always going to be the one in charge. Always, always, always. So that person will match that mood. So if I'm feeling really good and I'm really sincere about it and I'm walking around going, "Yeah, I feel good," people are going to smile and they're going to just start feeling good too, automatically. Just because they're just not sure how they feel. It's kind of wavering. I don't feel a little bad. I feel like that. I don't know. I really don't have any real reason. I don't know why. They're not really convinced. And then you come up like this, and then they go, "Ha ha," and they meet you. Okay. So you can lead the path with a smile. If a person seems moody or sad, come to them with joy. Say something funny. Match their mode. Remember, with the opposite action. So if they seem depressed, be happy. If they seem anxious, be calm. If a person comes to you with frustration, listen, acknowledge their feelings, and suggest stepping away from a problem for a second to help them overcome that frustration. See, anger breeds anger. Sadness breeds sadness. Frustration breeds frustration. Anxiety breeds anxiety. However, happiness brings joy. Peace brings calm. Action brings love. Love removes fear. Peace resolves anxiety, and accomplishment removes frustration. So there's an old saying. You ready for this? If you want more joy in your life, be more joyful. If you want more happiness in your life, be happy. If you want more peace in your life, be peaceful. If you want to be more, you want more understanding. Nobody understands me. Guess what? Be more understanding. If you want to feel more accomplished, then accomplish something. I hear people say all the time, I can't get motivated, blah, blah, blah. Well, just do one little thing. It'll put you in the state of accomplishment. Go clean a drawer. Go clean your closet. Reorganize your refrigerator. If you want more friends, be a better friend. You want more love, be more loving. So what can you change right now? What can you change? What can you actually control in your life? The only thing you can control is yourself and how you respond to a situation. So depending on your actions, depending on your reactions and your behavior, you can alter how a person responds towards you. So having self-worth doesn't mean that something always goes your way. It doesn't mean that you accept things as they are. You're able to maintain, it means that hold on, let me repeat this again. Having self-worth doesn't mean things always go your way. It just means that you accept things the way that they are and you're able to maintain control over yourself. You can't control another person's anger, betrayal, insecurity, but you can control how you react to these people. And you can control how you diffuse the anger. And you can establish trust and create security within others in your life. Okay, here's y'all's homework. I'm going to pause it for a second, just in case somebody does not have their computer up. And so you can do a screenshot if you need. Remember, if you're doing this and you haven't gotten an ebook, send me an email. It's Michelle, MICHELLE 66, Thompson, THOMPSON @gmail.com. All right, so we're meditating daily. We're writing our reframed words every single day. Remember, we're walking. 3 new things that you're grateful for. Continue doing that. Be conscious of your emotions and your actions and your feelings. Use your skills to alter how somebody feels based on their behavior. Listen to your audios. And I'm throwing in something else that's not on here. Okay, and I forgot to put it in the book. I need to make a conscious effort to place this back in here. Every single day when somebody asks you how you're doing, I want you to stop saying okay. Here's what I want you to do. Okay, I'm going to stop the screen share. Here's what I want you to do. What I want you to do when somebody says, how are you doing? I want you to do this. Don't go, I'm fine. Jason, don't go, I'm fine. I want you to say, fantastic, fabulous, incredible. I usually say fantastic. Fantastic. Michelle, what? Okay. Smashing great. Love it. I used to know somebody who said, living the life. But don't just say, living the life. Fantastic. Don't do it like that. I want some exhilaration. I want you to mean it, and I want you to actually convince people that you really mean it. Okay? I mean, like, say it with meaning. Okay? Because when I say, think about this, okay? Just look at me for a second, okay? All right. So somebody asked me how I'm doing, and I go, I'm okay. What do you think? What do you think I really is going on with me? What do you think I really am feeling? The honest to God truth is that most people don't believe me. Most people do not believe me. They'll say, they'll ask you how you're doing, but they really don't give a shit, right? They're just saying it because it's an automatic thing, and then you do the automatic answer. I'm okay. Okay. I'm getting there. So, right, exactly, Michael. You're like, what's wrong? We all do that. Okay. So what you want to do is start doing the opposite. Okay. This is the opposite game week. Okay. Everything's going to be different this week. Okay. When somebody asks you how you're doing, Michael, when you go to work tonight and somebody asks you how you're doing, hey, Michael, how are you doing? Don't just go, I'm fine. Thank you. I'm a lying dumbass. Just saying this because I'm supposed to say it and trying to be courteous. Don't do that. I want you to go, fantastic. Whatever it is, find a word that you like. Excellent. Fabulous. Living the life. Living the dream. I don't care. What is right? I don't know what is right because okay seems dumb for Michelle. You're funny. You're funny. You're funny. Yeah. So anyways, fantastic. Peachy. Yeah. All right. So I'll tell you something really funny. I was sitting in this group that I used to be involved with this hypnosis group. And I hadn't seen a couple of people in a while. And this one guy I hadn't seen in a long time. He was an older gentleman. And he said, hey, Michelle, how you doing? And I went, fantastic. And I kind of like took my hand and went like that. I go, fantastic. And he goes, well, okay, then. Wow. And he goes, and he sat up like this. And he goes, damn, I want a little of that. And then he goes, I feel really good. That kind of like boosted me. And it was really funny. The rest of the conversation, the rest of this class, all we did was talk about how we have the power to change other people's state just by us creating a state. Because I convinced him, because I was more convinced about how I felt. And so I convinced him by being very passionate about my words. And then voila, everybody was laughing and cutting up and having a great day. And it was probably one of my favorite classes that I did with some people. It was fun because I set the state. So you can alchemize other people just by the way that you behave. You don't have to let other people control you or control your emotions. This person made me feel like shit. Take control. Take control of your feelings. Take control. Wondermus. I like that, Robin. Yeah, that's awesome. So, energy. Yes, sir. Jason, that is the answer to the game. Okay, so again, if you don't have a copy, then email me and I'll send you a copy. Groovy. Groovy. But say it, you know what? If you're saying groovy though, you got to kind of almost sing it. You know, you got to like groovy, get a little like action going on, a little swag, you know, a little groove. You know? Get that a little get a little what is it called? A little jump in your step or something like that, you know, a little groove in your move, you know. Absolutely, Patrick. Yes, sir. That is absolutely true. You have to decide how you feel. I'm sorry, I didn't even see you pop in. I don't know how long you've been here. So, anyways, you know, the thing is I get people coming into my office and I hear people say some of the funniest things, you know, to me. You know, I always get cracked up on how people define me. or what their translation of who I am is. And I always get a big kick out of that, because if I need somebody to be like really serious, I'm totally serious. If I needed them to like be calm, then I'm talking calm. I mean, I lead the pace. Okay. I set the state. So whatever state I'm in is a state that I want them to be in. Okay. So it's always really funny because they always like people actually think that's me. Okay. And I always tell people, well, at least I used to tell people, I haven't done it in a while, but I probably should because I've noticed a lot of people are like, oh, Michelle's like this, always kind of crack up. I always tell people it's like when that door shuts, it's on like Donkey Kong. Okay. Because everything that I say from this moment on, everything that I do, every emotion that I feel, everything that I do is all to change you. So if I'm telling you a story about my dog, it's not because I'm trying to be your friend. It's because there's a point behind this. Okay. So if I'm getting dramatic and I'm like acting like this, is because I need you to raise your state. If I'm like laughing and I'm telling you funny stories, because I need you to laugh. It's not because I'm trying to be your best friend. It's not because, I'll tell people like when they start telling me their stories, it's like, I don't give a shit about your story. Actually, I do give a shit about your story, but I don't give a shit about your story. And that's the truth. And that sounds kind of twisted, but it isn't. It makes a lot of sense to me that I care about your story and I'm going to change it. That's why I care. I care that it sucks and we're going to fix it. But I don't care about your story because it's not worth anything. Now, if you come to me with something worth something, that's great. That's awesome. Because who do I want to be in my life? Who do I want to be friends with? Okay. Who do I want to share my life with? What kind of people do I want in my life? I want somebody who's going to offer something back, who's going to throw some excitement in my life, who's going to be fun to talk to, exciting to be around, somebody who's kind, somebody who's compassionate, somebody who has positive traits, that has something to offer. Okay. But one of the things that I absolutely love and the people that I really like being around the most, absolutely the most, are people that get shit done. Okay. Because I'm a mover and a shaker kind of person. And I like people who like to get things done. And meaning, like, I don't like laziness. And it's really frustrating to me to be like with somebody like that. So I always kind of lead by example, and let's see how much you can catch on along with it, because I usually show people when I kind of enter into somebody's life how easy it is. And no, I'm not saying that you shouldn't sit down and rest, because boy, ask Trisha. She knows I have a tendency of overdoing things, because I have to listen. I have to like create balance in my life. I have to do some things to relax and sit down. My husband's a lot like me. Like, he's been sending me text messages all day because he has a day off. And what does he do? He's telling me everything he's doing all day. I just took this down. I just did this. It's like, it's his freaking day off. And he's over here like creating, building, resetting, this, that, and the other. Oh my God. Yeah. So anyways, but he's a mover and a shaker. And so like, if I, when he had the issue with, not having some work for a little while, what do? Mover and shaker Michelle kicks in, and I start encouraging him. And I'm like, you need to be on that computer, and you need to send your resume to every single person. And I'm always willing to help. With somebody like that, a person that is a mover and a shaker, yeah, I'm going to step in and I'm going to help you because that's the kind of person I am, first off. But I'm not going to help somebody who doesn't help themselves. Okay. So I want somebody in my life that helps himself. So I know he helps himself. And so what do? I create this awesome freaking resume. Like, I am badass at making resumes. I can make a resume look so good that out of a stack of resumes, you'll pick it and pick that one. And I'll make you sound like you're freaking badass. Dude, everybody wants to hire you. And so, like, I'm really good at that kind of thing. That is one thing I'm really, really good at. And I like get people asking me to do the resumes all the time, and I love doing it. It's really fun for me. And so, in fact, I just had somebody call me today and ask me to do the resume. And so we did a little resume consult, and, and it's funny because that's not what I do for a living. It's just something that I think is kind of fun to do. But, I'm not going to do it for somebody who's a user and a lazy person that sits on their ass and doesn't ever do anything. It's like she said to me today, I need a little encouragement, Michelle. I need to know everything's going to be okay. And I said, well, don't shoot the messenger because I'm fixing to kick your ass. And she goes, okay. And I said, here's the deal. I know who you are. You are a powerful person that's a go-getter. But if you let depression from losing your job kick your ass, then this is going to go south real fast. So don't sit on your ass. I want you getting out there, and you use this like it's a full-time job. Be a full-time job doing a full-time job. I mean, looking for a can't say it right. It's a full-time job looking for a full-time job. So I want you to spend 6 to 8 hours a day, doing this. And I'll do this resume for you. And I'm going to make it look so badass that everybody's going to want to hire you. And I'm going to make you sound so badass that everybody's going to hire you. But you need to do the work. And, the one thing I know about you is that you're awesome, and you're strong, and you're not lazy, and you're powerful. And if you do exactly what I say, you will get a badass job, and you will get it in the next couple weeks. And she smiled and she said, you're absolutely right. Thank you. And that's what I'm saying. Okay. So what did that do? That encouraged her. I set the state for her. I set that state. And what did I do? By telling her she's amazing. She is. This is beautiful woman that's highly educated, that is just incredible. She's fabulous. She really is. And she is a go-getter. But I don't want her to fall. Sometimes these things will do that to you. So I show her what she's great at. And guess what? I wasn't like going, oh, are you okay? And then, what do you think that's going to do to her? It's not going to fix anything. It's going to make her feel like shit. Okay? No. I was like, I'm going to tell you how it is. If you sit on your ass, this is what's going to happen. But if you do exactly what I said, I'm going to do this for you because I know how you are, and I know you're going to do it. So do this, and this is what's going to happen. And she's like, all right. So anyways, there we go. Okay. Hold on. You need a job in nature. I used to do that in middle school. I would cut girls' hair in the bathroom when I was in clubs. I would fix ladies' hair and makeup. Pretty soon there was a line, and I loved making them feel confident. You know what, Joanne? That is awesome. That is really awesome. Did you end up becoming like a hairdresser or a makeup artist or anything? That's interesting. I love that. That's really cool. That is really cool. Okay, Jason, I think Trump's a winner. Is that like, are you watching all the stuff on the news? Is that why you said that? Or are you just commenting? All right. All right. What about a troll? Who's the troll? Somebody pop in here? All right, let's see. Okay, so anyways, you guys, that's pretty much it. You got your homework. Again, Jason, I don't know if I ever gave you a copy of the book, but if you send me an email, and it should be in the description, but here, I will copy it and put it in the, come on. Send me an email and I'll send you a copy. There you go. There you go. Okay, so that's fine. No, don't. I'm not going to email you, sweetie. You send me an email because I'll forget. I got too much on my plate. A billion things and a zillion and one things to do. And so just if you send me an email, I'll see it and I'll go, oh yeah, I was supposed to email him. Okay. So I'll drop you a copy and then you'll have all this stuff that you can write in. Okay. And it also gives you your notes. Okay. So remember the homework assignment and then add to it anytime somebody asks you how you're doing. We are going to say what? We're going to go, fantastic. Absolutely amazing. I need a bigger plate. And no shit. I need another Michelle. I need a clone is what I need. And we were talking about clones and stuff. And I was like, I want one. I need a clone. All right. So here every single day we have a nice little quote. Change your thoughts, change your world. Only I can change my life. No one else can do it for me. It does not matter how slowly you go as long as you do not stop. Okay, you guys, these are really, really good quotes that I spent a lot of time looking up. So read them, okay? The secret to getting ahead is getting started. So make sure that you're listening to your audios. Make sure you're taking control of your mind. Make sure that you're doing everything that you're supposed to be doing, you guys. This works if you do the work, okay? Trisha and I, we talk about it all the time. We're like, do the work, do the work, do the work. I'm giving you the work right now, okay? I'm giving you the work. This is all for you, you guys, okay? It's all, I'm telling you, everything that I'm doing for the 7 weeks, I charge thousands of dollars for this program, okay? So take advantage of it. Take advantage of this and do the work. Clear your head. You will walk away from this a different person. I've done workshops with people all together, and then I've done one-on-ones. And the last workshop I did, one of the girls, her brother was in it, and she said, you changed my brother's life. You changed my brother's life. He went on and he started doing this, this, and this. He still does this every so often. He'll look back at the book. You know, you have the opportunity to grow from this, okay? And all these things are here for you. So take advantage of them and do it, okay? All right. So let's see. Yeah, I need a, wait, what did he say? And if the clone decides it doesn't need Michelle, haha, you're funny. Haha. No, the clone is me. Okay. And so the clone's going to be just like me and think just like me. And so the clone is going to be, it's going to like the idea that there's another me because then we can get more things done. Okay. So, well, the only thing is that we got to be able to figure out a way to collectively share a mind, like a hive mentality kind of thing. That would be super cool. All right, you guys, I need to finish up. I started early. And I'm finishing early. Yee-hoo. This is good. I get to go home pretty soon. I am having, look at me, notice my hair is so big today. It's frizzy. It's bad hair day. Okay. Let's see if there's anything else that I need to, okay. Okay. So I guess that's everything. You guys have a fabulous day. and make sure you're doing your homework, do it every single day, make sure you're staying on track, and you know, looks good. What are you talking about? Well, it's just frizzy, you know. It's I actually did it today, and it's like for some reason or another, it's just frizzy. Like, see, it's just frizzy. I I have to, for it to look like really nice and silky, it has to be freshly done because my hair is like naturally curly. So I don't know if you can see, but my hair is like really curly, like really, really curly. And I should I should show you a picture. You should go to my Facebook page and look at some of my pictures because it's really quite hilarious. Let me see if I can find something that would make you laugh. Let's see. I'll share the screen real quick and see if I can find something that will make you guys laugh. I'm smashing great and fine. I am smashing great and fine with me. That's good. Good. I like it. Why is my computer being like this? Oh, let's see. Oh, my computer. Well, I may not be able to show you because it's being ridiculous. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Let's add another page on here. Facebook. Here we go. Let's see if I can find a funny picture to show you guys. This will be funny. I used to wear my hair curly all the time, but when I started getting gray, oh, I changed the password. I totally forgot. Okay, well, let's see. Let's find some funny pictures that you might like. Ooh, let's see. Photos of you. Let's look at the albums and see if videos. No, not videos. We don't want videos. So pictures 11. No, that's not it. Okay, let's see. No. Where is? Okay, here's one. See how that is? It's all like curly. That's Tay Tay when he was a baby, and Amanda when she was little. They're so cute. They're not little anymore. Let's see. I know I got it in here somewhere. So it's just a matter of finding it. Oh, you think I'm crazy? Look, I want to show you something. Look at this. Check this out. See, this was when I was in high school, and I got this wild hair up my ass where, see, I've always been like this. And so I told everybody that we should like dress up like Egyptians. And then so we got our this little jam box and we played Walk Like an Egyptian and I painted everybody's face. And this is my cousins, and this is my sister right here, and this is my brother. That's me. That's my cousin Kim and my cousin Chris. And we started walking down the stairs playing it. And our moms laughed so hard. They thought it was funny. We used to do goofy stuff like that all the time. Where is all those pictures? I know I had them. Where are they? Oh, look how young and sexy I used to be. This was when I was younger. All right. Let's see. I swear to God, I know I had a picture of me with my long ass curly hair somewhere. And okay. Well, geez, Maurice. Oh, here it is. Check it out. Look at this. That's how curly my hair is. That's when my daughter was young. She's 29 now. And see, it's all like super nappy curly. So yeah. Anyways, but when I started to get older, so it started getting like this. It's like all fuzzy and shit, and yeah. Bleh. Anyways, there you go. Now y'all see. So what happens is that here's my another young sexy pic of me when I was younger. Yeah, I miss being sexy, man. That sucks. I want to be young again. Take advantage of a youth if you're young. All right. Okay, so that's all. And okay, you guys. So y'all have a fabulous, wonderful, wonderful day. Just over here being silly now at the end of the day, getting tired, getting silly, and going back to the page real quick just to make sure that there's no more comments that I need to see real quick. Okay. That's funny. Okay, wait. Let's see. Back in the 80s again. Yeah. What's this whole ball looks beautiful thing? Let's see. Let's see. Oh, you must be talking about Michael. Yeah, I know you told me that. Not as much as I do, but it's so girly. It's just crazy. Um, all right. Okay, so you guys, y'all have a fabulous day, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Um, I'm actually kind of contemplating not doing the relationship thing tomorrow. I have somebody that I'm thinking about bringing in as a guest speaker, and I really wanted her to come on tomorrow, and she can't do it. It's Don't be disappointed if I don't log on for the keys to a healthy relationship thing. I just really, really probably need a day off from doing so much stuff. So, anyways, I'm gonna try if I can, and we'll see how it goes. Okay. So, itchy eye. Um, I will talk to you guys later, and we'll go from there. Okay. Hopefully, I'll be on tomorrow. So, y'all have a fabulous day. Bye.